claw machines. Most people know that they're rigged, right? That's not a controversial thing to say. Everyone kind of accepts it. You put in $1, the claw goes down, grabs a stuffed animal, and then just lets it go. And some part of your brain goes, yeah, saw that coming. And yet, you've done it more than once. I've done it more than once. Which has me thinking, why? If we already know the outcome is basically predetermined, what is it that keeps pulling us back? Well, I started looking into this. The psychology goes way deeper than I expected because it turns out the claw machine isn't just a game for kids. It's one of the most precisely engineered psychological traps ever built. And once you understand how it works, you're going to start seeing it everywhere else in your life. So the first thing I wanted to know was mechanically what actually happens inside the machine. The claw strength isn't constant. The machines have variable PSI settings. During most plays, the claw applies just 4 to 6 PSI, which is barely enough to shuffle the prize around. But on payout plays, it jumps between 9 to 11 PSI, enough to actually hold on to something. The toys typically require about 10 PSI to grab properly. So the claw that felt like it almost had it, it wasn't almost anything. It was physically incapable of holding the prize. You never even had a chance on that turn. And there are actual laws about this. In California, machines are required to pay out once every 12 tries. In Nevada, it's 1 in 15, which means the machine already knows before you touch the joystick whether this is your turn or not. Some machines are even programmed to split the grab into phases, start strong, reduce midair, then loosen near the chute. So the prize drops right in front of you, not at the bottom of the pile, right in front of you. Close enough to feel like it was your fault. So it's rigged. Definitively, mechanically, and legally rigged. And I still wanted to play one after finding this out, which brings me to more interesting questions. I dove deeper, and I find B.F. Skinner. Skinner was a psychologist in the mid-20th century who studied behavior and reward systems. And one of his most important discoveries was something we call variable ratio reinforcement schedule. In plain English, it means in a fixed reward system, you get a prize every 10th time. Once you hit the 9th try, you know the next one is guaranteed. The excitement drops. You might even take a break. But in a variable ratio system, your engagement stays constant. You never know if your very next try will be the one that pays off. The possibility of a win is always just one attempt away. Variable reinforcement is one of the most potent forms of reinforcement in behavioral psychology. Players don't know when they'll win, which keeps them in a cycle of repeated attempts, much like gambling. This is the same mechanism behind slot machines, behind social media notifications, behind why you keep swiping to refresh your feed even when you know nothing new is loaded. The unpredictability isn't a design flaw, it's the entire design. And the claw machine is a perfect delivery system for it because it adds one more layer on top, the illusion of skill. Players are more likely to attribute wins to their own ability rather than luck, because they feel like they have control over the claw. This belief in your own ability to succeed, even when the game is largely controlled by randomness, is called the illusion of competence, and it's a powerful motivator for continued play. I mean, you do control something, right? You move the joystick, you press the button, you choose where to drop the claw. That physical input creates a sense of agency, and your brain, which is very bad at separating I made a decision from my decision mattered, keeps the door open to the idea that next time, with a slightly better position, a slightly better angle, you could get it. You're not losing because the machine is rigged, you're losing because you haven't figured it out yet. That's the story your brain tells, and it's incredibly effective. So now I understood that whole variable reward thing, but there was still something bugging me. Because sometimes the claw gets the toy, it picks it up, lifts it, carries it halfway to the chute, and then drops it. And that specific moment that almost feels worse than never getting close at all. And I wanted to know why, because rationally that makes no sense. A loss is a loss. Turns out researchers have a name for this, the near-miss effect. And the neuroscience behind it is genuinely wild. A researcher at Swansea University explained it this way. Near misses are actually losses, but the brain interprets them as being similar to wins. Research shows they may promote continued play because they change the brain's electrical activity in the same regions that respond to actual winning outcomes. A 2009 paper in the journal Neuron, it confirmed that near misses activate the same reward system in the brain as actual wins. Let that land for a second. The claw picking up the toy and dropping it isn't just frustrating. To your brain, neurologically, it is nearly indistinguishable from winning, which is insane. You spent $1, got nothing, and your brain filled it under positive experience. And remember, machines are often programmed to create exactly this moment. The claw grabs strongly, weakens midair, and releases near the chute. That drop isn't accidental, it's engineered. That near miss isn't the consolation, it's the product. And researchers think the near miss effect exists because for most of human history, near misses were genuinely informative. If you were learning to hunt, shoot an arrow, or throw a spear, almost hitting your target was useful data. Your brain was right to treat it as a signal that you're getting closer, and the next time you'll get it. The claw machine hijacks that ancient adaptive instinct. It takes a feedback mechanism your brain developed over thousands of years to help you learn and survive, and turns it into a reason to spend another $1. This is where I landed after all of this. The claw machine isn't really about the stuffed animal. It never was. It's about 3 psychological systems working on you simultaneously. The unpredictability that keeps you engaged, the illusion of control that keeps you feeling capable, and the near-miss effect that makes losing feel like progress. All 3 of these things are ancient. They're baked into how human brains work. The claw machine just happens to be a very efficient, very cheap delivery mechanism for all of them at once. And once I understood that, I started seeing these mechanics in a lot of other places. Scratch-off tickets, trading card booster packs. These aren't random design choices, they're the same loop with different packaging. The claw machine is just the most honest version of it. At least the stuffed animal is right there where you can see it.